We're seeing the yen at very weak levels once again. We're very close to 150. Is it inevitable that we cross the 150 mark against the dollar? And is it also inevitable that the Japanese authorities will step into markets again to prop up the yen?
Well, if it goes beyond 150, it is quite possible that the government would step in. But, 148, 49, government would not take any dramatic action. That's my feeling at this moment.
So even if MOF officials give repeated warnings, it's not going to get them out of jail. The yen is going to continue weakening. Is that how you see it?
It depends upon the relative monetary policy of the United States and Japan. So that as long as U.S. is tightening the monetary policy, Japan is easing the monetary policy, or some depreciation of the yen is inevitable. And that is what is happening. But I think, there's quite a big possibility that U.S. monetary policy may change in the near future. So if that happens, then, yen would start to strengthen, toward 130 from, around 150.
So perhaps the US does one more hike around December, and then that's the peak of yen weakness.
Yeah, I think so.
So essentially, it's a matter of buying time until then. Do you think Japan can get to December without intervening in markets again?
I don't think that authorities are thinking of intervening at this moment. So they would probably, let it go until December, yeah.
Janet Yellen made some comments recently suggesting that some kind of smoothing movements and an intervention to achieve that could be understandable under certain conditions. Does that mean that Japan has done the groundwork and it already has a green light to intervene from the US?
That is something I don't know at this moment. But when I was in charge, I usually contacted my American counterpart and tried to get their understanding to intervene in the market. At least I made it sure that they would not oppose the intervention. That was very important. So that getting in contact with the US counterpart is very important.
So say Japan doesn't intervene and the BOJ keeps policy as is, and we head through to the end of the year. What's the weakest level the yen could reach this year?
Well, it could go beyond 150.
What about, I think you've mentioned 160 in the past as a possibility for this year?
You're close to 160 is a possibility. But I don't think it will go beyond 160.
So could get close to 160. Surely 160 would be too much for the government and they would intervene before 160.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
Would you agree 155 also looks like, hey, they couldn't surely allow the yen?
I couldn't specify the number. It depends upon the situation at that moment. But something like 155 is the level which they would start to worry.